Have you ever been in a relationship where everything seemed perfect at first, only to realize later that there were red flags you should have never ignored? It's a feeling that can leave you feeling heartbroken and confused, wondering how you missed the signs. Well, today, we're going to talk about 10 dating red flags you should never ignore. These are warning signs that can indicate a toxic or unhealthy dynamic in a relationship, and ignoring them can lead to a lot of pain and disappointment. These are not just quirks or pet peeves that you can overlook. They're warning signs that need to be paid attention to. So, let's dive in and make sure that you're not wasting your time or your heart on someone who isn't worth it. This is an emotionally charged topic, so brace yourself for a powerful and impactful journey. Number 1. Lack of communication. Have you ever dated someone who just doesn't seem to communicate? It can be so frustrating and confusing, right? But do you know what's even more frustrating? Ignoring the red flags that come with lack of communication in a relationship. Think about it. Communication is key in any relationship. It's how we express our feelings, thoughts, and desires. And if that's missing, it's a huge red flag that should never be ignored. But why is it so important to have good communication in a relationship? Well, without it, misunderstandings can occur, which can lead to arguments and hurt feelings. Plus, a lack of communication can also make it difficult to address important issues and make decisions as a couple. Number 2. Daddy issues. Hey, have you ever noticed that some women seem to struggle with finding healthy relationships? And it seems like they always end up with men who treat them poorly or use them for their own selfish purposes. Well, there's a good chance these women have daddy issues. You see, when a woman doesn't have a strong masculine figure in her life, she might be searching for that in other men. She might not know what it feels like to be loved and respected by a man because she never experienced it growing up. This means that she might not know how to respect you too. Now, of course, there are exceptions to this rule. Some women who didn't have a good relationship with their fathers still manage to find healthy relationships and respect their man. But more often than not, it's a good idea to look for a woman who has a strong relationship with her father and sees him as a positive role model. So, let's dive into the third red flag on our list: sexual past. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're dating someone and everything seems to be going well until you discover their number? It's a feeling that is universal for all men. Despite what society says, a high body count can be a major turnoff for many. But why is that the case? Well, it goes back to the concept of preserving and creating value. Women are meant to preserve their value, while men are meant to create their own. Sleeping with many partners can diminish her value, and it may become harder for her to form a deep connection with a man. So, what do you think about this red flag? Have you ever encountered someone with a high body count? How did you handle it? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Number 4. She's a fangirl. Have you ever been to a concert with your significant other, and all of a sudden, she loses her mind over the shoes of a rapper on stage? Or worse, she's plastered pictures of him all over her room. This type of behavior is a major red flag that make 99% of men uncomfortable for a reason. It's natural for us to feel this way because deep down, we know that it's not okay for her to worship another man in that way. Sure, the world may try to convince us that it's harmless admiration, but the truth is, she believes that this other man is better than you. If given the chance, she would leave you at a heartbeat just to be with him. Just think about it. She's willing to sprint towards him just for a photo opportunity. If that doesn't make it clear that she sees him as your superior, then maybe it's time to take a step back and reassess the situation. Number 5. Mockery. Mockery is one of the most hurtful things that can happen in a relationship. It's a form of disrespect that can make you feel small, embarrassed, and even belittled. And it's a major red flag that should never be ignored. Would you want to be in a relationship with someone who constantly mocks or makes fun of you? Of course not. And that's why it's important to address this red flag and address it immediately. But why is mockery so damaging to a relationship? Well, for starters, it can destroy your confidence and self-esteem. It can also create an environment of fear and mistrust, where you may not feel comfortable sharing your thoughts and feelings. So don't ignore the red flags and don't settle for a relationship filled with mockery. Number 6. Jealousy and possessiveness. Jealousy and possessiveness, the ultimate relationship buzzkills, right? Well, who wants to feel like they're constantly being monitored, or like their every move is being questioned? Not an indisposable man, that's for sure. But what if you're already dating someone who is jealous and possessive? That can be difficult to navigate. Jealousy and possessiveness can quickly become toxic and suffocating in a relationship, so it's important to cut it off before it spirals out of control. Number 7. Dishonesty. Now let's talk about dishonesty. This can come in all shapes and sizes, from lying about small things to hiding major life events. And here's the thing. Honesty is the foundation of any healthy relationship. If your partner can't be honest with you, how can you trust them with your heart and your commitment? Dishonesty can be a slippery slope. It starts with small lies and escalates to bigger and bigger deception. And once that trust is broken, it's tough to get it back. So if you're seeing any signs of dishonesty in your relationship, it's important to address it head on and figure out if it's something you're willing to tolerate. So trust your instincts and make sure you're in a relationship that makes you feel safe, respected, and loved. Number 8. Abusive behavior. Abusive behavior is a serious issue that should never be ignored in any relationship. I mean, who wants to think about the idea of someone they love hurting them or making them feel unsafe? The indisposable man has zero tolerance for abusive behavior. But unfortunately, abuse is a reality for far too many people. Whether it's physical, emotional, or verbal abuse, it's never okay, and it's never acceptable. If you're in a relationship where you're experiencing any form of abuse, you deserve better. You deserve to be treated with love, respect, and kindness, and you deserve to be in a safe and healthy relationship. Abusive behavior is never okay. No one deserves to be treated poorly or to be made to feel unsafe. Number 9. Neglect. Have you ever been with someone who just doesn't seem to care about your needs or wants? That's neglect, and it can be one of the worst red flags to uncover. It makes you feel like you don't matter, like you're not important, like you're all alone. No one deserves to feel like that in a relationship. As an indisposable man, you deserve better. You deserve to be with someone who listens to you, who makes an effort to understand your needs, and who treats you with love and respect. If your partner is neglecting you, it's time to have a conversation with them and see if they're willing to make changes. And if they're not, it's time to consider moving on. Number 10. Avoiding responsibility. Let's talk about avoiding responsibility. When your partner tries to avoid their responsibilities in the relationship, they might avoid communication, never admit to their mistakes, and always point the finger at someone else, or otherwise gaslight you. It can be so frustrating and can make you feel like you're carrying the weight of the whole relationship on your own. That's not how to treat an indisposable man. So if you're experiencing any of these red flags, it's time to have a real talk with your partner. Neglect and avoiding responsibility can be just as bad as abuse or dishonesty, and they're not signs of a healthy relationship. It's time to stand up for yourself and make sure that you're with someone who treats you right. You deserve to be in a relationship that makes you feel loved, supported, and appreciated. Don't settle for anything less. So, there you have it, folks. The 10 dating red flags that you should never ignore. These warning signs can indicate a toxic or unhealthy dynamic in a relationship, and it's important to pay attention to them and make informed decisions about who you allow into your life. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more great content. Take care.